Hey, good morning for whoever's on the other side of the world. Um, I'm not sure if guys can hear me. There's a chat room actually. There should be a chat room for you. I'm gonna type just to see in case you can see it, and so that you can also write me back, write any questions and stuff like that. Um, just please let me know. Hello, Jose. Hey, Jack. Just want to make sure that you can see my screen, that you can hear me. I'm just not sure if you can. Is there anybody can see the chat room that you can actually see? Just want to make sure everybody can hear me before I actually keep talking and more people come in, and I'm not sure. Again, there should be a chat room for everybody, for you to see somewhere on your screen. I'm not sure if you can see it. Hello, hello. Checking sound. Can anybody hear me? I just want to make sure that people can hear me. I'm just, Jose, I know you're in. Is it possible that you can write to me on the chat so I can see that you can hear me, or maybe you can unmute yourself and let me know that you can hear me? Hey Jack, how are you? How's it going? I know there's a chat room on the right, but I'm not sure where. But you can text me or you can talk if you want. I mean, you can unmute yourself here and there. But it's best that you can actually write any questions. And if the question maybe is too complicated, you can unmute yourself. And I'm trying this out for the first time. This Zoom, why not? So we'll see how it works out. But I'm waiting for more people to see if they come in. If not, hey, we'll start and have good stuff to tell you. I mean, I know that I did some lessons that I want you to go over. Is very very important because you've been asking me like when you get in, where should you get out? And I think that's one of the things that, like I said before, is the hardest part is getting out of trading, because when you're in, you can manage either you get out with the loss or profit, but getting out the right way is the hardest part. Do you agree or not? So, and so we're gonna go over major important things that you can actually find out how you can get out, major support and resistance. I'm going to show you exactly how you can draw them and how you can actually just really see for yourself that you can actually be able to do this, getting in and getting out. And the best thing is, like I said, scalping, the margin of error is much, much higher. So I really want you to start trading under the 1 hour and on, 1 to 4 hours, and even look at the 1 day. So please, do that. I did scalping for many years and it's very stressful. is very hard, and trading should not be so hard. So I really want you to take this to the next level, which is trading higher time frames and taking it easy and just letting your trades go for a longer time frame, 3-4 hours in one trade pretty much. So can you share the template with the EA when you have, what do you mean, what template, Jose? Oh, like the one that okay, yeah, definitely. By the way, I'm having some changes, some stuff, because I know, like, from here, like the ones that you have right now, let me just make this bigger. You're not gonna be, it's like if you go back and forth on, oh, this one is doing it. I need to talk to this guy, because the issue that I'm having is that, let's say you draw a line here and you draw a line over here, and then when you go back and forth, let's say to 1 hour to see what's going on, the line is gone, it's erased. And that's one thing that I really don't want, because we're analyzing the graphs, and obviously, I need to talk to him. So I need to make sure that before I give it the last final review, I give it to you instead of having to download and update, because I know it can get, frustrating. But I mean, there's nothing I can do. I've been working with this since March, and again, I'm still having issues. And so anyway, so again, I do have some changes that I want to make, but pretty much what we want to do, like I said, we're going to be trading 1 hour and even 4 hours, later on, or, half an hour, but really try to avoid 15 minutes, 5 and 1, especially if you're starting out, you really don't want to be doing this. It's just too crazy. So my properties, the ones that I'm going to be using for 1 hour, it's going to be this. For trend 4, I have to give me a stop loss of 3, right? So 3 above the signal or above the signal. You can give it just at 0, just below, right below there, or you can give it 5 pips. It's really, how well you can see this trade. Like sometimes maybe the bigger the candle, maybe the closer you want to be to it. If it's a really small candle, maybe you can give it more space to kind of let it work out. So for now, have it as 3. Then take profit, really seriously. This is something that you can put 20, but we've already talked about this. The market can move 15 because it sees a zone of resistance and support, and then you can't expect to take it, just to 20. You need to see where the market is heading. So for that, leave it as 0, and then you have to define it where it's going to be really your take profit. And for maximal candles to break. So again, this trend 4 is really considered the number 1 signal, okay? This is another set that I decided to do. So 4, 5, and 6. So 4 is going to be signal 1, 5 is going to be signal 2, and 6 is going to be signal 3, just so you know. And then, this is the new one that he's doing for me. So let me actually go back to euro dollar, which is the new one that the older version that you actually have. And so let's go back. Nothing has changed. It's the same thing. Just the RSI, he erased something for me that I didn't. Okay, so here it is. Now for maximal candles to break, we're gonna give it 3. And what that means again is that how many candles do we want, we get the signal, like let's say over here, we get this 2 signal, and it took 1, 2, really 2, 3 candles to break it, right? So that's what that means, is how many candles are we gonna give it to break it? If I say 1, then we will never get this signal pretty much. You get me? We will never get this signal. So if I give it a 5 or 4, then I'm giving it more options. Like this number 2 right here, it didn't take to this candle and then this candle to actually break it. So there'll be 1 and 2 candles to break this one right over here. So that's what that means. How many candles are you willing to give it to give you a signal? Right here, signal candle. So since we're gonna be we want to get signals from 1 hour, but let's say you decide that you don't want 1 hour, that you want 30 minutes. Or let's say that you want 5 minutes, or you want actually, hey, give me signals for 4 hour chart. So it's gonna give you only signals from the 4 hour chart, okay? Even if you're under the 1 hour, we're giving you the signal, hey, this is what I want you to give me, right? 4 hour time frame. Anybody getting me? Now, so right now we say we want these signals exactly coming from the 1 hour time frame. What moving average do I want it to be? If we want it to be breaking above the 4 hour moving average, this means that the 1 hour, this one signal, when I get the signal, I should be either breaking or I should be above, if I want to buy, above the 4 hour moving average. That's pretty much what that means. We're going with the 4 hour moving average. If you decide that you don't want the 4 hour moving average, you just want to be under the 1 hour, meaning that, let's say we get this signal right here, then as soon as the candle itself break this moving average, then we would get a signal. Other than that, we will never get a signal. So let's find, I can look something, let me see, cancel. Let's say, but I mean, this 5 simple moving average is kind of really close to the moving averages, I mean, to the candles. But let's say now here, this number 2, so this is a 21 moving average. So now we can change the moving average as well. But what if I tell it as soon as it breaks the moving average, well, we will never get this signal. If we choose the 1 hour, we will never get a signal over here because we need to break this moving average. That is what that means. And then here for this one, then it will give us the sell entry. But then for this 2, even though it breaks, it will never give us a signal because we are not above the moving average. So that is what that means, okay? So please keep that in mind. So now, obviously, yes, we chose the 5 because that one is the one closest to the candles. But let's say this number 1 we never get, and then this one we will get because we're above the here. Then this number 2 we will never get. So I mean, it's kind of like maybe it will be less, we will get less signals, but maybe more, you know, kind of like give it more cluster, you know, what do you call it? Filtering, you know, giving it more as a filter. Like we will never get this sell signal, but we will get this buy signal over here. We will get this buy signal too. So, you know, it's up to you. You can actually play around with the moving averages. We can say 13. 13 is also a nice one. I like the lucky 13. I trade sometimes with the 13, not to get the signals, but to kind of see what the market is doing. But 13, I think, is nice too. So you can change that on your properties. You go all the way at the bottom, and then here it says MA period. You can change it if you want. If you think 5 is too much, then you can change it to 13 or 21. Maybe those higher time moving averages could be nice for the 5 and 15 minutes, so we get less entries. Okay, we're getting some news in 30 minutes. And so that's it. For 5, it will be nice for 1 hour, higher time frame. So maybe that's something that you can take a look at. That's why you run it in the tester, so you can kind of, you know, play around with what type of trades are you getting. All right, so we have here the signal candle 1, the moving average trend. I mean, what type of, you know, the moving average, we need to break it in order to enter. Then now the RSI. This 40 and 60, we already spoke about this, which is our safe zone entries. I mean, you can tell that when the market is really overbought or oversold, you know, it kind of stays below for a long period of time. Let me just make this bigger. And then sometimes it's not safe to enter when it's really too low. But today we're gonna go over a little bit how you can enter when it's really low, meaning that we find a really, really good support or resistance there. Other than that, you know, to me, 40 and 60 is just good enough. Maybe 35 and 65 could be also good, you know, a little bit higher, not so low. because I know people buy when it's really low because obviously it's oversold or overbought, but we have to be very careful with that, very careful. All right, so let's go back to the properties. And okay, so the RSI again, I'm choosing to buy 40. Anything above 40, give me a buy. And anything below 60, give me a sell. And then the same thing now here is, I want the 4 hours to also be in the 40 and 60, because it could be that the 1 hour is inside, but the 4 hours is outside of our safe zone. So, you know, you can also play around with that. If you're not liking the type of trades that you're getting, you can either increase it or you can decrease it. You know, the more you decrease this number, you know, I mean, if here's 70 and here's 30, then you're giving it more that is when it's really at the top and it's really at the low range of the RSI. Try it out, see how you like it. But to me, I think 40 and 60 for now is good. And we want to go here, always this candle has to be always 1 hour, because what it's saying is that as soon as I get this signal, we need to get a bearish candle to close, and then it would enter after that. Because before, I used to have it that it would enter right away. As soon as we get the signal, it would enter right away, but I was getting a lot of fake signals and I didn't like that. So now I'm saying, if we want to sell, give me first a nice bearish candle, that's a confirmation, and enter after that. Yeah, we might miss from here to here, but it's better to miss some than to actually, you know, to be safe than to be sorry. Yeah, sometimes we do get bad entries, but here, let's say this number 3 right here. I'm not sure if you're really seeing this number 3. It was already bullish. So right away, it would give us an enter when it actually goes outside of our moving average. And then the entry will be right here, and then we will get all of this right here. So for trend 2, I actually have it in here. Instead of 4 hours, I'm trying to be sneaky. Now we go trend 2, which is the signal number 2. I say, give me a signal in 1 hour, using the 1 hour moving average. So as soon as it breaks it, give me that entry right away, because could be that the 4 hours maybe is higher, right? Could be that the 4 hour moving average, it's somewhere around here. And then you might get the entry then over here, too late. Then yeah, we're gonna miss that kind of a lot, and then we might just get this part of the entry. So the sooner that we get in, the better, because of course we wanna be closer to our stop loss here at the bottom, because the higher we are, then our stop loss is way too high, and we don't want that either, right? We want it to be as close as we can to the stop loss. So here's going to be the entry. So here I'm going to use the 1 hour instead of the 4 hour moving average. And then the RSI here should be 40 and 60. All of them is really 40 and 60. 4 hours, 40 and 60. We're using the candle 1 hour and 4 hours. And in here, we're giving it 4 candles to break. So let's say here, this number 2. I think this is a 5. So I'm giving it 1, 2, 3, and then it would enter here. But what if it took 4 or 5, 4 candles to actually break this candle? Or, you know, sometimes we have bigger candles that it takes longer to break. Like over here, this is a perfect example. You see this number 3 right over here? This 3 right over here. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get used to over here. This 3, it took 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to break this candle. So if we would have given it only 3 candles, then we would never get the entry. And if we would have maybe given it the 4 hour moving average, maybe it's later on that entry. So it would give us the entry as soon as it breaks, and we're already below the moving average. So it would provide the entry here, and then boom, we will get all of this right here. So that's why, you know, sometimes the more candles that we give it, you know, sometimes it's good, but, you know, I don't want to give it too much for the number 1 #1 signals. You know, those are short-term entries, really silly entries sometimes that I get upset. The best ones are the #2 and the #3, but you know, sometimes they do work. The ones, sometimes they do give us good entry, so we can't just, you know, avoid them all the time, you know. Especially when we're in a good trend, they are nice. When we're against the trend, they're not so nice. But like here, we got a #1 entry, and then this one worked out very nice. So if we would have avoided it, then we would have missed all of this right here. So sometimes you love them and hate them because they give you an entry that is too short, like over here maybe. And then sometimes they do give you an entry that is nice and long. So just gotta be careful with that. Everybody okay so far? Now, and the last one, so pretty much they're all the same except, so again, 40 and 60, or 45, 55. Sometimes, you know, it can be silly, you know, we can get some silly entries. In 1 hour, we're also giving it 1 hour in the time frame. 1 hour moving average means that as soon as it breaks that moving average in 1 hour, please give me an entry. Then the RSI gets 40 and 60, 4 hours, 40 and 60, and then the candle will be 1 hour and 4 hours. And here I'm giving it 5 candles for the #3. So 5 for the #3, which is really the 6. 4 for the #2 signal, and 3. So 3, 4, and 5. That's pretty much what I'm giving it right now. And then here, the other ones, the trend 3, which is actually, it says trend 3, you can use that either for half an hour, or if you want to get 4-hour entries, which, you know, I don't mind 4-hour entries. Like I said, I don't want to move now time frame to time frame because then it's gonna do that silly thing for me, and then I have already set it up for you to see it. So if you go to 4 hours, check 4-hour entries. I mean, you get long, nice entries. Like take a look over here, this nice entry. So I really, really want you to start getting used to, you know, you're really gonna get alerts. I know sometimes we might be sleeping or something. I wish we can, you know, really sometimes automate it, but it can be hard. But take a look at this entry. You would have maybe given it to us like right over here, actually, maybe here. I'm not sure where the RSI was, but even maybe if you didn't get the entry, you could have seen it yourself that once it breaks that moving average, that simple moving average, then this could be an entry. You know that is coming after a 3. And then look at the nice run. And then here we actually got a nice #1, and it went all the way up. And then here we got a 3, and then would have gotten an entry. Not sure if it would have given us an entry. We'll have to try it. But you know, so those are really nice entries. Like please, you know, let's really stop scalping, looking at 5-15 minutes thinking that we can get more from them. And I think what we get more is more of a headache and more of stress. And then it's just really, you know, try to really, you know, I really want to teach you something more interesting, something that the real traders out there do, you know, something more professional. I don't want to give you, you know, things that you don't need, and you know, stuff like that. So let's try to keep it simple. So do you have any questions in regards to the EA? This is the IFX VTA, the one with the signals, right? Do you have any other questions? So anyway, so I want to show you some of the trades I've traded. So far for the day, I'm 564. Remember, I'm doing the FTMO, and I want to show you why some of them work. Yesterday, I really wasn't doing much because I was updating the lessons and the course and stuff like that, and I missed a really good trade. And then I won, which was euro dollar, which I entered again because it was actually a good trade, which we're gonna go over that trade right now. Where is it? It's right over here. So I don't know if you ever ask yourself, of the, when the market reaches, somewhere, then all of a sudden starts to turn around, and then you don't even know why. All you care is, give me a signal and let me get in and let me get out. And then I drew all these boxes over here, which is actually more in detail in the course that I updated yesterday. And you really, really need to see it because this is so important. And so yesterday, this box, actually, this is coming way back in history. So if I minimize this, we're able to tell that the market, if you look at the market in a different way, it's been making, higher highs, this three, then this three was higher than this one, then this other three was higher than this one. Let me just draw. So this three was high, we were coming down, right? The market eventually started to turn around, and this is another part of the lesson. When the market decides to drop and just kind of keeps on going down, the market needs to come back and fill all of this that it just went down. It needs to be filled again. It kind of it's like a hole that needs to be, so the market is coming back. It decided to come back in waves, one higher after the other, and eventually it's starting to fill all of this that it came down. It started to come back in. I mean, that's what the market does. The market that makes U's or upside down U's or N. It always comes back. If it went up, it always have to come back down. I mean, so now our question is, when is it going to do that, right? And where should we best get in? Because sometimes, yes, of course, the best entry would be all the way here at the bottom, so we can actually come and run up all the way to the top. And then, maybe getting on these threes over here, so we can be able to run to the top and not be able to buy all the way here. Because one of the things that people think is like, as soon as it breaks this high, let me actually again buy and get in, right? Does anybody agree? Do you, have you ever done that before? Where when you said, well, as soon as you break this resistance, then I am going to buy. And what happens is you get in, and then boom, the market drops again. Did anybody have that happen to you? Please write me in the chat rooms. I want to make sure that everybody's listening. So anyways, so yes, right, we think, oh, let me, as soon as it breaks, and then over here, let me just make this bigger. As soon as it breaks the high, let me get in, and then the markets all of a sudden starts to turn around on us, and that is the big mistake. Let it make a new high, and that's where you become smart, and then we look for a sell entry, and then we grab, because all they're doing is they're making a new high. Like this is one high. Let's say you look at the market, then it made a new high, and then you say, you know what, let me get in, and look only what you get. From here to here, you only get 28 pips, when you can actually have gone in all the way at the bottom and got all of this right here. This from here to here, 54 plus the 28, so it would have been 80 pips. But instead we think, oh, let me get in when it breaks that high, and then what does the market do? It consolidates, and then it drops. And then that's where you lose money. So that's where we actually need to avoid now. Let it make a new high, and that's when you become smart, and then you're like, haha, a sell point is coming soon, and then that's where you take advantage and you sell. And then I have this on the lessons that I updated. Again, the market needs to fill empty spaces or gaps, okay? That's why it turns around when it's supposed to turn around, and it reaches to certain places, which, I'm gonna give you something right now. So yesterday we saw that the market, whoever was trading yesterday, the market was going yesterday like to the upside for pound dollar, pound yen, euro dollar, and eventually it reached to the top. But guess what? This top has already a meaning. This comes from history. This is not just because it happened to turn around by magic. So I enter over here on these entries over here, sell, they all come from here inside this square. All of us, I enter here, but then it kind of decided to come back up a little bit, And then now, boom, it dropped. And this was my actually take profit. Unfortunately, I got out here. I re-enter again and I got out right here, which is this entry, which didn't give me much, this entry right here. So let me tell you why this number 2 entry was a great entry to enter, because we were on a selling zone. And how do you know we're on a sell zone? I mean, hello, the market already went up a lot, right? And it already made a new high. So to us, that's already like a ring, like, it's time for it to drop again, obviously, right? So we waited for a new high. This was not a good entry because it was so close to this one, and then it made this new high, which I enter in here, and then it went up a little bit and then it dropped. But take a look at this. This high is coming from right over here. I know it's kind of small, but this is coming from history already, okay? And then it came there perfectly. And this is like back way, like history, like, well, not too much. This is from September 21. And in September 21, we can see that the market had a nice drop, like 260 pips, 260 pips. And then what did the market have to do? It had to go up to fill all of this that it went down. The market had to do that. You guys understand me? The market had to drop all the way, and then again it had to come up sometime, and it did it now. And when did it do it? It took actually a long time to do it. We can see that from September, the final drop was September 25th, and then it took all of this time to actually come up to from where it came and dropped. So now this is what I want to teach you. Take a look at history. It doesn't always say that history repeats itself, that you should always look at history. Well, now I really, really want to encourage you to do this. And so I went back, and then I'm like, this thing needs to have some backup, and then boom, there it is. This backup right over here. And then it touched it like right by the T. Like, it was perfect. It touched this top zone. Have you guys ever heard of the institutional price levels, or they call them also big figure levels in the market? Has anybody ever heard of that? I think I have 40 minutes on this thing. All right, John, cool. So the institutional levels, I actually, all right, Jose, okay, cool. Yes, nice. So the levels are even numbers, like right here, I have 1800. We have the 200, 500. And so right here, take a look at this. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I wish I can magnify it. This level, this green one right here, if I go to the properties, is my 800 level. So we're on a price 118, and then the rest of the number is 800. And then look what the market did. Bam, it touched not only my big figure level, but it also hit the my resistance box that I drew, that I'm teaching you in the course. And then bam, we get a number 3. What do we wait for? We need to wait for an actual candle that closes below this moving average. Let's say you don't wait for the signal, because we might be too high. This is when it's the only option when the RSI is already overbought, and you can sell, or you can wait until it enters your sell zone right over here. So let's say you want to get a better price. Have any of you here buy products to resell at all? Like, toys or books? We all out there, I think we're all out there in the business for buying products for reselling, right? So what do we always do? We like to look for the best price so that when we resell it, we actually make a profit, right? Isn't that what we do? And if this distributor, increases the price, then you like, fuck you. I'm gonna find somebody else to give me a better price. Well, think of this the same thing. This is an intangible product that you're buying at a certain price that you need to resell it. Pretty much, that is what it is. So if you're buying, if you really want to buy here because it broke a resistance, aren't you already buying too expensive? You're buying too expensive. The best price was over here to be able to ride it up and be able to make a profit and resell this product for this price, and then you make a profit, right? That is really what you need to engrave in your head. Where is my selling zone and where is my buy zone? And then from there on, that's where you're going to make a decision when you buy and you sell. So now, let's say we got this number 2 signal and this number 1. Now, you have to do your homework before you get your signals, because the signals are not going to know where is the high and what's the magic number, the 100, 200, 500. The signal's not going to know that. You have to know that. So now when you get a buy signal, like here, let's say, you drew your box and you drew your magic number here, the big figure number. You get this number 1 signal here. Your question now is, should I buy? When the market has already come down all the way from there, is this the best price that I'm getting? And then you have to get out because you have no more options. You can't expect for it to break just like that after this humongous run, Now the market needs to fill all of this empty gap. So that is now what your question needs to be when you get a signal. Am I buying too high or am I being ripped off? Pretty much ask yourself that. When you're buying a product, you're always going to say, hey, please lower the price, something like that. So now, are you being ripped off? Or if you buy here, yes, you are, because you don't have much space to resell this product. Is anybody getting me? So now I'm teaching you how to filter your entries. Nice, good, please. So now when you get a number 1 signal, don't be like, oh yeah, the signal is nice, let me get in, and then boom, the market turns around on you and you're like, oh, this doesn't work, right? I mean, that is what happens when you actually getting, buy signals or buy stuff from out there. You need to know the reason behind the signals that you're getting. Like, I'm being open, with the signals here, how are we using them, and then how you can actually, they need to teach you how you can filter them, because other than that, it's not going to work on, man. Look at this $0. I got in at a great price, a discounted price, and then look at this sucker. Oh, I'm so silly. Anyways, so now you get me that, again, we have a number 2 signal here. Yes, you're going to get a buy, but check this out. This number 2 right here is already hitting our resistance zone that we cannot be buying anymore. Now this is considered a, let me see, can I write over here? We get an alert. This is a resistance sell zone. So when you see something like that, right on these things, oh, I can't move it around. Damn it. Okay, wait. I'm gonna call it art sell zone. Right here. So now when you get a signal, now you know, oh shit, I shouldn't buy, I cannot buy, I need to sell. So you wait patiently for your sell signal, and guess which one is the one that actually gave you the most pips and better profit, and then the confidence that this thing is gonna keep on going lower. Well, this signal right here. So I got in again over here, and then it's coming down already for 30 pips. That is nice. And it's coming into this zone over here, which is being a support. From here, it might bounce, it might come back in here, and then it might drop in here. So we have now different levels of support and resistance. So now, if anything, you might be able to resell in here to come down to this other level, but at least you know that you're in the sell zone levels, right? That you want to get at a better price in order for you to enter. So far, we haven't gotten any entries because the entry was here. I got out. And, well, euro yen is nice. Pound dollar. Oh, let's analyze pound dollar. So any questions with euro dollar and any questions with the signal? So now you're kind of getting the head of start here that, oh, okay, now when I get a signal, I'm too close for, if I'm gonna buy, I'm too close to a sell zone, I shouldn't be buying. Or if I buy, I should get out right away. And then I should be looking for sell zones. And that is your methodology now. That is your way of thinking. What about pound dollar? Pound dollar had a nice run, which I missed. It started on 10/20th, like, you know, my night, 23 in here. And then it ran for 233 pips. And guess what? Pound dollar had the same exact thing. This resistance, this red two lines that you see here, this is coming from back in the day too. And let's see from where, like way back. This is like one resistance that I found. And this is from September 9th, 8th. So it came, imagine September 8th, that's a long time. And it hit it perfectly. I don't know if you can see it. You can see some wicks, look at that. And then now we had 1 wick, this candle right over here. I mean, guys, I'm waiting for signals, you know, I'm teaching you how to analyze. Like I said, you know, it's nice to get in, but it's really nice to understand behind the scenes of this market and how it behaves. And this is how you need to learn how it behaves. Why does it get somewhere? Why does it do that? And then what are you doing now? Like, are you buying expensive or are you buying cheap? And that is what you need to learn. So here, this 3 right here, it hit this big figure zone, which is the 800. I don't know if you can see it, 1.31800. Again, that's on, I teach that exactly on the lessons. And then here is the 500. So it hit the 500 along with a back history resistance, and it kind of stayed there. It went up a little bit. Let's say someone sold, and then maybe it put the stop loss here, and then boop, it took them out just by a little tiny bit. Remember, you don't want to be buying here, right? You want to be selling now. You know, don't be thinking that because it hit a resistance and once it breaks it, you want to buy. You want to do the opposite. And it hit an 800 zone. It touched it right here, and then boom, it went down. And that is exactly what it did. And so if we get a signal, let's say you get a signal to buy over here, is number 1. I mean, you already know that you're on a sell zone, right? I'm gonna put SZ. You're in a sell zone. If you buy, you're buying expensive, and you know that you can't let this thing run because look at that, it hit a 500 level and it bounced off from there. So now your question is, if I get a buy entry, please, you know, don't buy, write it down, you know, do everything that you can, write it all in here. I mean, you can write things down in here. So that, you know, ignore this signal. You're gonna say, nope, I'm gonna wait for my sell signal. And this is where you get your sell signal. The market gives you the entry around here, and then boom, you get, I don't know, how many pips on that? That was 43 pips. So if you do got in with euro dollar, pound yen, did the same thing. And that's it. So yes, I know that it sounds easy, right? But it could be that easy because you already know what the market did. I mean, if you actually take a look and make this smaller, you already know that this high, remember, you want the market to break a new high. You want it. You better pray for it, because that's, once the market makes a new high, you know that this thing is gonna turn around. So it broke this high. Obviously, it broke this high, but this was a stronger high, which you thought. And then let's say you were like, oh, if it breaks this, I'm gonna buy. But you didn't. The best price to enter was actually here. And then if you would have done your homework, you have to go in the past to kind of look some resistance, which one is after it breaks this, where's the market going next? That's what we need to ask ourselves. If it breaks this, that's why you need to plan ahead, right? I mean, so if it breaks this, where is this going to? I mean, it has to stop somewhere. At least if we find out when we have an idea, then, and if we go back, I'm gonna draw a line here on this 3, which is green, and let me change it. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused. I have so many colors, so many options. Gives you like, so okay. So this pink, this is the pink one where I drew, and then everything is below that pink. So the only next best thing is somewhere around here. I mean, this new high, these number ones over here, that's where I got my info. I mean, and then those are actually taken by some back information here, but that's really my next big thing. And then you would draw, if you can see, I drew other boxes in here, and I know another one on top. Is it possible that it can go higher? I mean, well, of course, because if the market went down all of this, sometime it has to fill. So it only has filled, it went down from, when is this? September 1st. So from September 1st all the way to here, which is, I don't know, let me see, some September 1st to September 10th. That was like the low, September 11th. So it took 11 days to go all the way down. And now it needs to fill all of this again. So it looks like it has filled halfway. And if you draw your Fibonacci, which I already, I teach you also in the course, it's almost halfway. If you see this 50 over here, can anybody see that 50? It went also halfway. It already has filled a market halfway up, and I'm pretty sure it has to fill the other half somehow. Does anybody know how to draw the Fibonacci levels and how to understand them? I mean, there's not really magic with them. I mean, does anybody know? Do you have any questions with what I have said so far? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Any questions? I mean, I know I'm talking away over here, but take a look at this. The market is actually hitting this number 3 from prior. It's becoming a support, right? So anybody has any questions so far? Like sometimes, sometimes we get upset, because I got upset that I missed all of this nice move, So when something like this happens, we just have to, maybe this is the only way I can tell you, once you decide that, hey, this is a nice trend, that the market's staying above the moving average, maybe you can go back to a smaller time frame, like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and see if you can get a buy entry in here, because obviously we don't get any more buy entries under the 1 hour. This was the only buy entry, and we were on a buying zone over here. So, hey, you can, you can feel bad, then the next best thing is just let it run. Like, there's nothing we can do. Like, look for something else, and then eventually now we take advantage of, hey, okay, finally you did your move, you made your new high, let me see what I can do. But yeah, sometimes we do miss entries, but unless we have to spend 24 hours in the market, Jack, I mean, if you disable trend 1 and trend 3 alerts, will I be? No, if you disable them, you will not get any entries. If it's disabled, it's disabled. You will just not get any entries at all. So yeah, and so the good things about these alerts is, well, of course, I mean, you can have them on your phone or if you're on the go. But if you're sleeping and you get an alert, you're not gonna get up and trade. That's ridiculous. Your wife or your husband, whoever, is gonna kick you out. It's like, go sleep on the couch and and But yeah, sometimes we wish we could trade 24 hours because I was sleeping when this started, and but yeah, sometimes we're tempted to be trading, a lot more than we're supposed to. But if you're able to identify your tops and your bottoms, meaning, what is the best price that you can get in. No, Jack, you will not, if you disable it, you will not get the alerts at all. If you make it false, if I go here to properties, and let's say this trend 1 that I have here, if it says activated, if it says false, you would just not get any entry at all. You will not get an alert, nor would you get an entry at all. So now, you can have this on your phone, and then if you're working, let's say, I know some people might be on the office, and I can have actually a setting where I can teach you how to put in all your, not this type of indicators, because you will not be able to put it on your phone, but the candles and the moving average, and then you can have the RSI. And then if you get an alert, it says number 2 or number 1, then you can quickly see on your phone, hey, what's going on? Maybe let me get in. If you're on the go and you're trading higher time frames, you can do that. So you can also even draw your boxes on your phone, because it's an MT4, so you can draw your boxes and have that, and maybe put it on 2 pairs, like set it up. And then if you're on the go, you get the alerts. Hey, why not? You can still trade and not miss out. You don't have to be sitting on the computer 24/7. And that's one good thing that I can tell you. If you have it, check it out, how you can set it up on the videos, on the alerts on your phone, set it up on the MT4, like the candles. You can go back and draw your lines and support. And then that way, when you get an alert, you can just quickly, accept it or not, put it under the 1 hour and 4 hours, and then you're good to go. The only way that you will not be able to trade, obviously, is when you're sleeping. And you can put it, maybe number 3 alerts to enter for you, for you by itself. You can do that. And hopefully, do that on a demo. Yeah, Jack, I mean, like I said before, in here, like where it says signal candle time frame, that is where you actually, if you want to get alerts from, let's say you're looking at the 1 hour time frame, right? But you want to get alerts from half an hour and 1 hour. You don't need to be under the half an hour time frame. You can be under any time frame, but this is a robot. Remember, you're giving it instructions, and the instruction is, hey, listen, give me an alert from the 30-minute candle signal that when it comes up, and then everything is met, give me an alert on the 30-minute, or you can say, give me an alert on the 15 minutes, or give me an alert on the 1 minute, or even the 1 day or 1 week. So you tell this robot, hey, give me an alert here, and then everything else that I told you, follow the moving average under the 30 minutes, 30-minute 40 and 60, 1 hour 40 and 60, follow the 30-minute candle, and then the 1 hour candle. And then every time an alert comes up in 30 minutes, even though I'm in 1 hour, I would get the 30-minute, and then I also set it up here for the 1 hour, so I can get alerts based on 2 time frames. Remember, trend 1, 2, and 3 are based on any time frame that you wish, you know, either 5 or 15, and trend 4, 5, and 6, which is also signal 1, 2, and 3, you can put it on any other time frame that you want, so that way you get more alerts and you don't miss out. Because let's say, well, this euro yen kept going down, so you know, let's say you get a half an hour alert that could be sooner than 1 hour, or you say, you know what, I just want to get alerts under the 4 hours and 1 hour. So you tell it, hey, give me the number 3 entry, which will be either trend 3 or trend 6. One of those three will be this signal 3. Give me a number 3 entry from the 4 hour time frame. And then once you get the alert, you will know, oh, this is coming from the 4 hour, because it says trend 6, and trend 6 means number 3 signal under the 4 hours. So you know, that's how you change around with that. So take a look at euro yen. Same thing, euro yen went up and it came back down. And guess what? Do you really think that it just went up to a certain point and then that's it? It decided to turn around just because of the hell of it? No. Take a look at here. Remember we said that the big figure numbers, they actually hit the 125. Boom, right there to the T, exactly. And then what did it do from there? It just dropped. And why is it dropping? Because it needs to fill all of this. Pretty much whoever thought that the market was keep on going higher, it's taking everybody's stop losses. Hey, that's one of the options, but it needs to fill all of this. It's just like, it's a gap, it needs to be filled. You just cannot go forever. And then look what it did. It came also close to a nice high over here. It didn't make a new high. It's just, you know, it was too strong, I guess, with the big figure and this high over here, that from there it dropped. So what do? You don't look for buy entries anymore. Like in here, you'd have gotten a buy entry, but then you need to say to yourself, do I really want to pay too expensive for this product? No. Wait for the sell entry, wait and wait, and then that's it. This was the entry. And it kept on going lower. Now, where is it gonna go to? This is one place right here. That's one. And then it's got this other one over here. And then now, if it breaks this number 3, bravo, we want that, right? We want for it to break, so that we know that when it makes a new low, bingo, we can look for a buy, because it needs to fill again all of this drop. But if this is strong, then we know now this is our buy zones, because it already came down from here. Now we're close to some buying zones, unless it has another low somewhere. Then that's where we do our homework. You know, I guess this is already in the course. I tell you how to draw your boxes. So this is this low. It's almost close to this low. So there's another low right over here. So now we know that if it breaks this one, it comes down to this one, bingo. This is a place where we're looking for a buy, right? Because we wanted to break this low that is actually coming from this other low over here. So we wanted to come down to this one. And from here, then we look for a buy. And that is how the market behaves. That is how the market just works every single day. It goes up and down, filling gaps. You fill this, you know, it needed to fill this gap. You filled it over here. Now it's filling this gap again. It could bounce on from here and keep on going higher. Who knows? But we kind of, you know, already drawing our zones. And then now we know where we should buy if we want to buy cheaper. And then that's it, guys. When you get your entries, when you get your alerts, now you know what you should do. Do you think now you're more capable of, you know, seeing this zones when you get in, and then if you want to get in, you know, like say you want to buy over here, you get a buy entry. You're kind of in the middle, right? So you have to decide, now is your decision. Is this a good zone? Then find a good support. Like really do your homework and find a good support. See if it's maybe on a big figure number, which actually it was. This is a, well, not 900, 500, 800, but kind of was on a 124 right here. And it kind of stayed above here, and then boom, it dropped. It didn't, wasn't able to hold it. And so that's one of those things, you know, like now when you get an entry, please, you know, like I said, the signals are nice, a good guidance, but it's not all of it. It's not 100%. Why? Because it doesn't know what's the high and the low. It doesn't know what are the big figures. It doesn't know all of these things. So now you come in and you do the rest of the homework, which is, hey, thanks for the signal. This is a good one, or no, thank you. I'm not taking this one. I'm waiting for another one. And that is how I want you to see your trading. And again, if you go for smaller time frames, you know, is it nice? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I used to trade it. I mean, I trade it once in a while too. I mean, but I'm sorry, this is like, and then what happens if when you draw your zones, let's say you drew all of your boxes, you know, the way I taught you, and then you decide to come to a lower time frame. Can you trade with that? Of course. You can trade with that, you know, on a lower time frame, use your boxes. Can you also do what we just did, you know, filling in gap? Let's say we had a drop here in 5 minutes. Guess what the market has to do? It has to come back and fill it again. And so if you see a nice drop, you're like, okay, good, make it a nice drop, I'm gonna buy again. So yes, you can trade 5 minutes, but just with the same thing I just taught you. Like, you see this number 3 over here? So this 3, and then it made a new low. Bravo, we want that. We wanted to make a new low, and that is when you come in and wait for a signal, and then you buy, because you know that after a nice drop, it needs to fill. It needs to be filled again, and then that's where you come in and you will just exit, just be a little bit below that high, because you don't know if it's gonna keep on going or just drop from there, and then boom, you get in, and then I don't know how much was it, 16 pips, 18 pips. But scalping, you need to expect less pips, right? When you do higher time frames, you expect a little bit more. Sometimes not even. I mean, sometimes you do get bad entries where it doesn't even move. But so expect something like that when you have, you know, you can play around the same way on a higher time frame. The same way works on a smaller time frame. So if you draw support and resistance on 1 hour, you can use those support and resistance under the smaller time frames, because they're not, you know, they're stronger. Or if you see a nice drop, then wait for a nice retracement or fill and stuff like that. Any questions, guys? Any questions? So, you know, like I said, if you're trading, yeah, I think this thing is recording. I hope so. Yeah, I'm gonna email it so you could see it. But yeah, I think Hope is recording. I'm not sure, but as soon as I drop from here, I'll check it out, and then I'll send it over to you guys. Any questions so far? So you see, I mean, we spent some time in here, and yes, unfortunately, we didn't get any entries. There were, like I said, there was one entry on euro dollar. This was an entry that I did. And ooh, this was a nice entry on We didn't get the alert, unfortunately, but this was a nice entry right here. Oh, yikes. Oh, well. I'm looking at 4 pairs, so I'm just making it look and have it all side by side. Have them all side by side, and like I said, I have an update so that when you draw, well, I have to tell him now that I'm still drawing a line in here, and I'm still it still gets out. Yeah. Now you will be able to draw here and then go back and forth on time frames and be able to, to kind of see what's going on. I mean, I think 4 pairs on 1 hour, if you're looking at 1 hour and 4 hours, is just nice, looking at your RSI, and then you get your signals. Like, let's say, again, I already taught you, like, let's say you might miss this signal, but if you see that the market has already crossed this moving average, then this is a good sell signal. And if you did your homework, we're still kind of in the sell zone because we are a bit far away from our, this number 3 over here, which is one support right here. Then we have another one over here. So this still needs to fill what? This gap, right? And unfortunately, I was talking away and we didn't see this. This was definitely a good entry, 136 on gold. Ooh. But anyways, I mean, I hope you got good information. I hope now you're able to really be able to filter all your signals and all your trades. And, that's it. I mean, there are times when we just don't get an entry. Like this was also, I think Jack was able to get in here, right? On pound yen, you were able to get in here. How many pips did you get on that? You got 20? Okay, so you got the alert and you got 20. Okay, nice. So let's say now that, go back to the lessons, you're gonna learn how to draw your boxes, and then now what you're going to do is you're gonna let it run when it comes inside this box, and look, that's exactly what it did. The same thing with euro dollar. It came inside this box, and that is now it bounced off from there. We're still too close for, we can buy, but we know that we don't have much of a run over here. This number 3 is really short 3, and you just got to be quick on here. If we buy, we should better get out with a few pips on that because we're still on a premium or expensive zone. I hope you understand this now. Just think about this. When you buy a product, do you want to buy it cheap or you want to buy expensive? Where do you prefer to get your price? You're buying an intangible product here, guys. I mean, don't think that because you're buying gold, you want to see it on your hand. I mean, you're buying something here. You're buying an intangible product that you don't see it, but you get something in return, which is either, well, you get money or you lose money. But so, all right, Jack, that was nice. That was a 20 pip. That's good. So, keep it up like that. Now you learn how to filter more of your entries. And I'm sure this is going to help you a lot more. Now you're going to have more of a idea of how much you can run, how much if you needs to fill a gap, how big is your gap. The bigger the move, the better it is when you enter at the top or at the bottom. Now you know that you have a bigger gap to fill. Just think about it like that, and make your chart smaller sometimes, and just kind of get an idea. It's like, oh crap, like there was a nice drop over here, and it came close to this 3, but then it kind of broke it. So now once it breaks even by a little bit, it needs to do 1 or 2 things. I mean, it needs to turn around quickly, especially after a nice drop. So also always notice that after a nice big drop, the market needs to turn around no matter what. So all right, so that's nice. Yeah. So anyways, when you see also big drastic drops, always look for a turnaround because it needs to fill this gap again. And that is exactly what it did. So now that this one went up also, guess what needs to happen? It needs to come back down again. So that's where we come in and take advantage of these nice moves and stuff like that. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes um, faster. So all right, guys, so if you don't have any questions, I mean, like I said, unfortunately we didn't get any signals. We missed one. Well, we didn't get the signal, but this was a visible signal that we could have gotten in on gold. And gold had the same exact thing. It hit here, actually, a nice resistance. It hit it by like a T2. If you go to the back, like I want you to go back on your information, like go back and kind of do what I did. And then this was history, and it did it, like, hit it, and then boom, it dropped off from there. So that was a nice entry too. So this number one was a nice entry. Unfortunately, like I said, we didn't get the entry itself because it took 1, 2, 3, 4 signals to break this signal, right? This candle, it took too many candles, and then I have it as, I think that's trend 4 because it's a number 1 signal. I have it only for 3. So if I would have changed it to 4, guess what? I would have gotten the signal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. So I would have gotten the signal right here, and then it would have dropped on me 100 pips. Oh well, it's part of the game. So that's why, I mean, sometimes I do have it maybe under the 1 hour, because I know 1 hour runs could be a little bit bigger. So maybe you can change it to 4. As you were able to tell, we missed this entry. If I would have had it as 4, then it would have gone in, and it would have been a nice positive entry right there. But if you trade in 1 hour, like I said, I mean, the entries are great, and all you have to do is do your homework, and then that's it, to see where you're going, where you're gonna get out. This is right now, it's in a buying zone. It's not a strong one, but it's in a buy zone. So it came inside and it bounced off a little bit. Maybe right now that this kind of drop, we could have drawn the Fibonacci. I told you how to draw the Fibonacci on the lessons, and then how to actually go from there on taking some trades and stuff like that, like what you can do to actually trade. Like if we draw this Fibonacci from bottom to top, then this is actually a entry point, and you can see that it hit this 79, which is an actual buying entry. So if you try to buy, instead of waiting for a candle to actually close and stuff like that. But this candle was so big that it has to be filled. But here we have a box of buying entry, and then if you did the fib, guess what? It hit at 79, and for someone that likes to enter just like that, it would have gone in right away, and it would have been 53. And if we were selling, then this would have been our exit point. So again, sometimes we do trade blindly without doing our homework, and then that's when we get hurt, and you don't want to get hurt. All right, guys, any questions? Please ask me any questions. I mean, that's, I know, like, again, I mean, it's a lot of information, and, a lot of stuff is, you can find it there, more in detail, and you can see it on your own. But that's it. I mean, I think we might get a buy entry here on euro dollar, which we are on a tiny buying zone, but it's really tiny. It's just one of those things that you kind of have to get out quick. So it's going to give us an alert here yes, we are on a hit as support, and we know we are kind of still buying expensive because yes, the best buying will be somewhere around here. That's we would like to wait, but it might give us an entry over here to buy. And it's one of those things, is like, okay, you know, you can try and get a few pips on that, and maybe it wants to fill some of this gap right over here. Maybe it can come and hit this and then maybe drop. I mean, I don't know, you know, it's one of those things that we know we draw our support and resistance, and then we kind of, but like I said, we're too close for a selling zone instead of a buying zone. You know, we would really like to resell again to keep on going lower, or we would like to buy lower so that we can get a better resell at a better price. Hey Jack, you really need to go back to the videos and maybe really, you know, spend some time. I mean, I already went over the signals here, like how it works. Again, I mean, if you're looking at the 1 hour time frame, what are you looking here? The signals, right? And trend 1, trend 2, and trend 3. So trend 1 is number 1 signal, trend 2 is the number 2 signal, and trend 3 is the number 3 signal, right? That's one set of signals. We have only 1, 2, 3 signals. You can choose what time frame do you want to get signals from, either from 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day. You know, you decide on those trend 1, 2, and 3. You know, this 1, 2, and 3, if you want to get it from the 1 hour, or if you want to get it from any time frame that you decide, and then all you have to do is go to properties, and then you go here, trend 1. You know, I already have this on the videos. You know, you choose, you know, signal, candle. Oh, here it is. So okay, so we got the buy entry on, we got the buy entry on euro dollar right here. So like I said, you know, I'm gonna give it a try. And this little thing right here, we can't let it run for too long, you know, seriously, because this is we're still on a buying selling zone. So we're gonna give it a try, and then the stop loss, I'm gonna give it somewhere around here, and then that's it. So Jack, yeah, I mean, one of those things is that, you know, I can move a little stop loss a little bit higher. So again, now if you go to the 4 hours, then what do you see in 4 hours? We see the same signals, right? So the other set of signals will be 4, 5, and 6. That's another set, right? Another set that we can put in for any other time frame that we want. If you don't want any other time frame, then 1, 2, and 3 for 1 hour, that's the signals that you want to get. So trend 1, 2, and 3, you can choose for 1 hour or any other time frame that you want. And trend 4, which is, you know, right here, trend 1, but it's actually trend 4. I mean, maybe I can change that if it's getting people confused. Would be another set. This is number 1 for either 4 hours or any other time frame that you want. 2 will be, you know, again, the number 2 signal for any for that time frame, and 3 for that other, you know, the same time frame. So you have 2 sets of signals that you can choose in order for you to get entries, right? Right, yeah, you change it yourself on the expert. So you go here, you know, I'm here on the trend 1, but it says activate trend 4, because remember, you know, it just has a different name. And then here you go to signal candle. That means this signal right here, and then you change it to 1 hour. If you say no, I don't want 1 hour, I want 4 hours instead, then you do that. So you change it yourself to whatever you want, you know, on the properties. But if you, let's say you have this under the 1 hour and you're under the 4 hour or daily, it's still going to give you the 1 hour entries, even though you're under the 4 hour or daily, still gonna give you the 1 hour entries, because that's what you told the robot to do, right? That's what you told it to do. So this entry, you know, is one of those entries that if you look at 4 hours, we're kind of, you know, below already this moving average. You know, one of those things like when you get a 3 entry and you're above the moving average in 4 hours, that's like thumbs up, you're good to go. So now we are below, and then now what we're really hoping is either to bring it up to this moving average, because this, what does this do? This acts as a what? A resistance, right? So this is why you need to be very careful, you know, when we're buying. Now we're kind of like not in a buying zone, as you know, as you can tell. One, we're too high up, and two, we're below the 4 hours. So this buy, this number one here, it's one of those risky trades. And that is what I really want you to understand and kind of see. Okay, okay, that sounds good, yeah. Um, so yeah, right now we are against, you know, 4 hour trend, because we are already below the moving average. And then, you know, that's the big, you know, understanding too that you need to know. Like when you look at, when you take a look at your 4 hours, you need to make sure where you are in, you know, under the 4 hour trend. So right now we are on a obviously downtrend, because we're below the moving average. So if you're able to tell, you know, once the market is above the moving average in 4 hours, the market keeps on going higher. Once it's below, it just keeps on going lower. And so this trade was a risky one. And again, you know, we do want to buy lower than this. You know, I mean, I get in just to kind of give you an idea, but this is a risky, really risky trade. And if it stops me out, then, but you see, I mean, we do get entries, but we still need to analyze the market. It's preferably to sell, just like how we got the sell entry that it worked out very nicely. But hey, we're gonna give it time to work, and if it doesn't stop me out, then we're good to go. If it does, then oh well. I mean, it's part of the game. You know, you can't be afraid of putting your stop loss and stuff like that. And then this one was the nice one. And then if you look at the 4 hours, take a look at 4 hours, it was below our moving average. So that's why it worked out even better than if you're going against your 4 hour trend, right? So always take a look at that too. It's like, if I'm gonna buy, how is my trend in 4 hours? How is the RSI? I mean, take a look at the RSI in gold. And how is the RSI on this? Oh, this is like, yeah, it's green on 4 hours. And, you know, it's already rangy. You know, we want it to be a strong green or a strong red if we want to buy or sell, but we're still gonna give it time. It should give us some pips, you know, here and there. It still is a strong 3, you know, but again, we're still against that big trend. But we're gonna hold and see how it works. I don't know. This thing is, how long is this thing for? This Zoom. Anybody has questions? Yeah, Jack. I mean, I think I showed you on the videos exactly how I have it on, you know, the way I'm trading it. You know, so I show you exactly one by one, you know, what you need to do and stuff like that. Again, I'm going to have to give you an update because of the reasons that you can see that if we draw a line, it just disappears, and that's upsetting. We don't want to do that. So, and all the little things that I found some issues. So I'm getting that fixed, and then maybe sometime next week before I'll give it to you the updated EA so that you can trade it. You're welcome. I mean, you're welcome. And yes, you know, always, I'm always here for any questions, guys. And take a look at pound yen. It's inside also this box of support. It's also inside. It's touch our 1 hour. This is 1 hour Bollinger, so it's hitting that. So if this candle closes green, and then we might get an entry to buy. And one of those things is, where should we get out? I really want to maybe get out somewhere around here, because I really doubt this thing is going to keep on going higher. And so I'm drawing a line on the bodies of these candles that I have a number 1 signal, and this could be a possible resistance over here. So if I get a buy, again, I don't have much of a leeway, because we are on a sell zone. So remember, we're on a sell zone, even though we have a bounce in here. We want to look for sell, so that it eventually drops and gives us more pips. So we're looking for more pips. You have to always wait. I mean, who knows what this thing is going to do? It still didn't quite hit this high over here, and it's kind of going slowly but surely. So could it possibly break it and then keep on going higher? Could maybe this buy be the one that keeps on going higher? Who knows? That's why it's good to still, make it. But at least you were in a support zone, not going in just because you got that signal. You kind of have more meaning behind it. Any questions, guys? Any other questions? Let's see if this trade works out. I mean, this candle is actually nice. Well, I mean, how long should you, I mean, really, until you get comfortable, until you really analyze, what I taught you, how to draw your support and resistance, how to really, until you really manage to actually see some consistency, like, because you need to learn market behavior. So, you know, you don't know. I mean, you're giving yourself only 2 weeks. I mean, don't give yourself force yourself in 2 weeks and then that's it. Give yourself just enough space, to do it slowly and get into the mojo of trading and look at it at the market. And actually, you don't have to be right 100%. I mean, some people make money just by being 40% right, but they let the trades run. So just as long as it takes, don't give yourself that extra, like, yes, it's good sometimes to force ourselves, but make it right. Look at your high time frames, look at your supports, have reasons behind or why the market got to there, and get in and see how long you can hold. Let it run to whenever you see a support. So start doing that with one. I know it might take a while, and we get desperate to start trading and then making all the big bucks. But if you really want to make it right, just concentrate on one and really see the reason behind it, and just get it right. And once you start seeing that, then get comfortable, and then maybe put in another pair, and maybe you can put another pair. You kind of like, sometimes euro-dollar might not do anything, then the next day euro-dollar might do something, but so then the prior day you had pound-yen. So yeah, not all of them run or do something at the same time. So kind of, then 3 pairs might be good, because if you don't get one signal in one, at least you get another signal in the other. So, but yeah, take it easy, understand the signals, understand where you need to get out, and trust yourself. The main thing is you need to trust yourself. Trust yourself, let it run when you see your exits and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it's really on you. I'm giving you the tools, but you need to trust yourself. You can't doubt yourself, because if you doubt yourself, then you're not gonna get far. Just like one of those kids when they look at their parents, is it this? Is it like this or is it like that? You know, like looking for, you know, we can't do that. You know, we need to trust ourselves and do it. And if we fail, it's okay to fail. You know, you learn that lesson. But you know, you can't expect, you know, to get it right away. You know, some people it takes longer for some, it takes shorter for others, and that is just how it works. Some people have that gift for one thing, but it doesn't mean that you can't learn it. Doesn't mean that is, you know, we just have different gifts, different ways, you know. But you can get there if you actually take the time to really understand how the market works and what's the reason behind all this moves. And you know, just we see these candles, but sometimes we're like, who are these things, you know? And there is an intangible product that is managed by banks and big institutions that has billions of dollars, and they are the ones, we're just a small piece of this, you know, a drop of this, but they're the ones who moving these things. And why are they moving it? Because, well, yeah, of course they need to make money, and they make money and stuff like that. But you know, why is things, and you know, like why all these magic numbers, you know, like this, the 800 is right here, the 00, you know, why is it like the market respect that, like this is the 18800, and then boom, it bounced off from there. I mean, it's just crazy, it's nuts, but that is what the market does. And once you know it, then you just gotta act like a big bank to yourself. You know, you might not have the billions, but at least you have the knowledge. Okay, so over here it hit the 200. Remember this, oops, there are two, it's the 200, the 800, the 500, and guess, look what it did. So it hit a support here, which is actually a box that I had before. So we have a box, we have a 200, and you know what, why not? You know, it's one of those things, at least have reason behind it. I'm not getting in by emotion. I'm not getting in, I'm being more rational on this entry. And if it doesn't work out, then at least I didn't enter on emotion. At least I didn't enter on just because it's so a green candle going up and then I decided to enter. At least I have some backup. And if it didn't work out, well, too bad. Too bad. I mean, shit happens, you know. You did the right thing and it didn't work out. Well, okay, it's okay. Keep doing the right thing until you actually get more pips on that, you know. Any questions, guys? Any other like concern? I mean, is there anything that you wanna? I wanna see if I can have this webinar maybe every week that we can, you know, discuss, you know, have entries and learn some more and stuff like that. Does anybody would like, you know, interested? Do you have any questions or something that you want me to talk about? All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, it also helps me a lot because, you know, one of those things that if you know something, it's best for you to actually say it out loud. And you know, me, I actually improve myself, my skills by teaching you. You know, sometimes you may ask yourself, why are people teaching if they're making money? Well, it's one, well, because this is a lonely business, and two, you know, I mean, I'm just, the truth is I'm also bored. I'm stuck in a country where I cannot get out or get in. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna be able to get out. They have closed the border since March, and I'm like, I need to do something, you know, productive, and you know, not so I don't even go out anymore because the cases have been jumping in here. So you know, so one of those things, yeah, I'm stuck. I mean, actually in Georgia, the country, and they have closed the borders. Well, I'm a U.S. citizen, so I can't get out because I have to go straight to the United States, and obviously I don't want to go there right now. So I can't go to any other country and be able to come back in. They only allow to get out. There are only like 4 flights in a month, or I think, for people who want to get out and then not be able to come back. And I mean, it's just crazy, and the fares are really expensive. I can't. It's just yeah, I'm stuck. Yeah, there's, well, not here in Azerbaijan and Armenia. There, yeah. Hope they don't come here too close. But yeah, I'm in between of Russia. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. So I've been stuck here since I came here in January to stay on kind of like 6 months and be able to travel. Like I had to cancel all my travels. I had to travel to Turkey. I had to cancel that. Had traveled to Portugal, had to cancel that. I was gonna go to Jordan, had to cancel that, and I just had to cancel everything. Everything I have actually purchased now, I just got vouchers, which I don't even know when I'm gonna be able to use. So I'm pretty pissed about that. And my plan was to stay here 6 months, kind of go all these countries around here, and then go back to Europe, and then keep traveling. And but I'm stuck. I can't get out of the country, so I had to renew my. I had to just get an apartment and get a 1-year lease until next year. And my family said they won't even come near here to visit. So yeah. I went to London in last year in April, May. I was there. Nice, very nice. Too expensive though. But yeah, I was there, and then from there on, I rented a car and I went all over Europe, like literally every single place. I know friends from up and down, and I went Spain, Italy, all over Italy, all the way to the south. It took me 6 months. I rented the car for 6 months, I think. Was it 6 months? Yeah. And I drove all over. I went to awesome countries. I went to really nice countries, and it was beautiful. And yeah, had delicious food, met amazing people. And then after that, I went to Germany. I stayed 3 months with my cousin. Then I went to Amsterdam to spend New Year's and Christmas over there. And then after that, I went to Spain, and then I came here, and then now I'm stuck. Yeah, that was my whole thing. Yeah, so this is yeah, it was amazing. So one of those best things, about trading is that, that you become well, digital nomad, but you become independent and be able to do that. And that was always my dream, to be able to do that. Just take my laptop and my backpack and just go anywhere I want. Not have be a citizen of the world. I love traveling. I love meeting people. I love eating food. Good thing I don't gain weight because I eat like a cow. I eat everything that you can give me to try. I love beer, but this year, I mean, I haven't even been drinking. I've been eating healthy food, and then I'm just trying to help you guys to actually be successful. So I'm, putting material together, how to actually explain things, because one of those things is like, I know, but how do I get the information through you? Some people learn different ways. Some people learn more visual, or, different ways. So that's one of those things that I need to find out how you can learn better, how the information can get through you that you can actually understand and enjoy. I also need to learn myself. I mean, there's, and I'm teaching you things that I know that is useful. I'm not giving you BS of all these type of indicators and then defend yourself on this war of Forex and whatever. So, I really want to give you something that you actually enjoy and be able to do something with it. And I'm also learning, more information that I want to pass on through you. So that way, this is an ongoing learning, ongoing growth. And then now, I'm going to teach you. I'm doing this, the FTMO And so I'm doing it myself so that I can actually teach you on how to do it, because they have different rules and different stuff, and that you can actually, if you mess up, then you're screwed. So I'm also doing it myself, so I learn what they're looking for, how you can do it, in a shorter period of time, and what type of time frames, and what do you need to do. So I'm first doing it. That's why haven't put in the info, so I can teach it to you and you can actually do it, get funded, trade with a lot more money, and have a better trading career, stuff like that. So yeah. Any question, guys? I mean, if anybody enter on this trade, this is a trade that I guess we just have to hold. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Um, we are on a support. It's a tiny support. This is not no strong support whatsoever. So I have a stop loss here, and let's see if we can get something. But I'm gonna leave you. I'm just, I'm not sure how high can it get. I mean, we're on a sell zone instead of a buying zone. So I'll leave you with that. And if you have any questions, you can email me. I'm always available via email, so you can email me any questions that you want. If you have more questions regarding the VTA, I'll send you an email in regards to the updates, and then I'll see how with this webinar how we can actually email it to you so you can actually see it in the future, and then that's it. Yeah, anybody can do the FTMO, definitely. Like I said, I'm going to teach you how to do it. So I'm going to have a course on that, on a master class course on that, on how you can actually start doing it, and from beginning to end, give you all the information that you need to know, and then how you can get funded. So yeah, I'm working on that, but first I need to do it myself. So I'm doing that so that you can actually teach it to you, and then you can do it. Anybody can do it and get funded, and you can trade with a lot more money, which is much better because, yeah, you have more money, which is more responsibility, but you're always risking less and you're getting more money in return. Pretty much that is, Yeah, I believe that is the one. You can go yourself and look into it and see how, what it is. Yeah, John. The alerts disappear in the box if I change it. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to change. I'm having that fixed. I'm having that fixed. But what box? Yeah, don't worry. I'm having that fixed because I told the guys I noticed that. And if you notice anything else, um, oh, in the alert box, well, yeah, I mean that if you have it, the only thing is if you have it on automatic, that I don't think you can change, but it will come back for the total pips enter. That will be fine. If it's in automatic and you change charts too, you will have to go back to automatic. But the lines and everything disappears, so that I'm having that fix. I think I noticed something else that I'm having that fix. So if you notice anything, please let me know. I mean, like I said, I started this in March, and since then until now, we have done like 26 revisions, and it's just, it's just crazy. It's very draining because, there's just little mistakes here and there that I notice that he makes, and then I don't like it. But anyways, so if you notice anything really out of the ordinary that you might see, please let me know, so that way I can just let the guy know, whoever's helping me do this, to fix it for me. That way everything works more smoothly. Anything else? You guys have any questions? Again, we are on a 4-hour time frame. We are against the trend type of thing. So we'll see if we get that signal. But always be aware of that too. When you change time frames, your 4 hours, kind of doubt that entry. I mean, it's costing it a lot to enter. And why? Because we have the 4 hour that is against us, and that is something that we don't want either. We want to be on top. We want to be on top of this line if we're buying on 1 hour, pretty much. And if we are below, then we look for sell entries only, and that type of thing. So please, kind of be aware of that. All right, guys, it was great meeting you today. I will let you know. I will send you the webinar replay, and then I'll let you know when we can do one next week as well. And in the meantime, let me know if you see anything with the VTA that you might see that is acting strange. Please let me know so I can have that fixed. And if you have any other questions, please let me know also via email so we can talk about it on the next webinar. That way, I kind of, because yeah, I come in with no plan whatsoever. I'm just, like I said, giving you ideas. Hey, Nicolas, gracias. Nicolas, I think, are you from Colombia? Because I am from Colombia too. And you can shoot me an email and we can talk. So anyways, guys, have a good one, and I will see you from Bogota. All right, nice. Send me an email so we can talk. And I'm not sure if you have not emailed me in regards to the VTA number, license, so we can talk. And I'm from Cali, so nice to meet you. Anyways, guys, thank you again, and I will see you next week. Chévere. Sí, qué chévere que eres de allá también. Voy a hacer también el curso en español, so de pronto en español te ayuda mejor si quieres. All right, guys, have a good one, and we'll talk, Nicolas. Send me an email.